Adam, thanks for talking to us.
Nice.
First of all, congratulations on your recent success. You might tell
Thank
us a
you.
little bit about the latest tournament you've won before we delve into the many tournaments you've won at recently.
Alright, well, I won the under 19 nationals there last weekend, men's singles, men's doubles, and mixed doubles, which has never been done before. But yeah, it was a good weekend for me. It was all in one day though, so it was tough going.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
and we'll delve into that a little bit more because I know that you put a lot of work into making sure you have that endurance as well.
Yeah.
But bring us back to the start. I mean, badminton, we were speaking before we started the interview, is one of the minority or fringe sports, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
in Ballahadreen, bring us back to the start. What made you take up badminton as your primary sport?
Well, I played tennis first actually, and the badminton coach came up for a game of tennis one day, and he says, he watched me playing for a bit, and he says, have you ever tried badminton? So I tried it anyway, and it went on from there, and kept training at it, and sure it was grand then.
At what age were you roughly? Was
Oh,
it? Yeah.
9.
Nine when you
Yeah.
started it. So was badminton, obviously if there's a badminton coach, badminton was something that was happening in the town though?
It was, yeah. There was a club for many years there. It's not here anymore though, but it's been about 30 years here I think, and there was a lot of good players came through, so yeah, it was lots of coaches and players out the years.
Yeah, so that's how you started off, you were
Yeah.
enjoying it. But I suppose at some stage, obviously that coach spotted there was something special in you, but at some stage you have to realise yourself you're going to make the step up and be competing at national level and for honours. So when did maybe your first title come, or the realisation come for you that, yeah, this is something I could be very good at?
Well, I played a lot of local stuff around Connacht, different tournaments, and I think I made the Connacht under 13 team when I was 10. So that kind of made me realise about the standard in the country and stuff like that, and just kept playing the junior tournaments, and I started winning a lot of them, so I said, sure, there must be something here.
Yeah, so then it went from there and it continued on. Now, tell us a little bit about badminton in Ireland. What are the structures like? As you said, you won the men's recently at that national tournament, but is it well funded? I mean, I know we'll talk about your international side of things in a minute, but how are the structures, or what's the support like?
Well, we were laughing about this before, but the mother's pocket is the main funding, but there's bits and pieces like throughout Connacht, but as you say, minority sport, and there's not a whole lot there, it's not like football or anything like that. You have to really fund it yourself,
Yeah, so your mum, Catherine, I know,
Yeah.
is brilliant for bringing you around
yeah,
the place,
some woman.
and funding it. But that it's
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, and unfortunately you have to keep going to the pocket, going to the well to get on in the game.
You do, yeah. You need to have the, I suppose, dedication of money as well, but
Along with everything else.
yeah.
Now, training wise, we're here at the Phoenix Centre in Ballahadreen.
Yeah.
I've never been here before, and I've lived near the centre for a number of years, but you have the court out there. But I know I was even saying to your mum, like it's great to have the facility, but some of your fellow Irish teammates would be playing and training in places with 16 and 17 courts, you told me.
Yeah, there's this is probably one of the worst conditions in the country you'll have, but sure, if you have a court and you have a net and you have a racket and a shuttle, you stand a chance of doing something. But sure, when you go abroad, even there's halls with 32 courts in it and filled the whole time, so it's definitely a minority sport around here.
Yeah, you were here putting in your training, so tell us a little bit about that. How I know it's Easter holidays now, but what's your training schedule like in terms of the badminton side of things?
Well, I train maybe 4 days a week on the court, and then maybe 2 or 3 other days in the gym or running and keeping up the physical side of things, But yeah,
that's very important to you, isn't it? Because I know the last tournament you mentioned, they're competing in those 3 different grades and winning them. How important is it that you have not just the on-court training but the endurance side of things? Because I'd imagine physically your body is crying out by the time you get to your last final.
oh well, that tournament was crazy. Now I'll probably never play a tournament like that in my life again, but it's very important, like, for not getting injuries first of all, and leg strength is a huge thing. That's the main thing in badminton, But you have to have the endurance, especially for crazy tournaments like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way your schedule looks week to week. You're doing your leaving cert now as well. That thrown into the mix.
That thing, yeah, that has to get some attention as well, I suppose. But
well, I met you one evening in the gym, and you were leaving and going off, or going to a French grind. I think you had your training done here as well. Do you have any time for anything else?
I wish I had, but not a whole lot of time. Might get the odd game of FIFA or something like that in at home, you know.
Yeah.
Not much though.
Yeah, it's tough going though. It is tough, and you do have to have a huge level of dedication, don't you?
Yeah, a lot of hours of training put in and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. So internationally, now I know last year was busy for you as well. We'll talk about what's coming up in just a moment, but you've been away with Irish teams, you've been on the international circuit as well. So give us a flavour of what kind of things you've competed in there.
Well, I've been on the Irish team in different age groups since I was 12, so yeah, lots of different countries like France, Poland, Germany, Switzerland, lots of places like that. And the Europeans, I played in 3 Europeans, which it's tough going. You really see the standard of international competition there. Got to a few quarterfinals and stuff like that internationally, but this year is really the big year now, because I'm in my last year of junior, so I can really push on international now.
Yeah, so you were just saying you're training away obviously, but you won't have tournaments now until August. I suppose it's a combination of what's coming up with that thing as you mentioned in June and things like that. So, but then it's very busy from there on in, isn't it?
Yeah, August is a busy month. I've gone to Lithuania and Bulgaria for juniors, and I always have the Irish International here, and then the Europeans is coming up in the start of September in Estonia. So that's those internationals are the main goal for me now at the moment, just train hard over the summer for them now.
Yeah. Like in terms of making the step up then, I was chatting a little bit about Michaela Walsh to you from Swinford, who's talking about she'll be moving out of the junior grade now and making the step up to under 23. So is it senior next for you then?
Senior next, yeah. In Ireland actually there's no under 19 circuit.
Okay.
So nationally it's kind of under 17 then senior. Well, they just had a under 19 nationals is the only one really, but yeah, the step up is huge, like physically more than anything. They're big lads as you're playing. You can see me standing here, I'm not the biggest fella going, but
I know we're very tall. We were told that already.
Yeah, well, as you say, it's in the gym and catching up with them senior boys now.
Yeah, it has to be a big step up, because she was making that point where she was saying you might have to for a while go to the bottom of your age group, and for you it'll be senior, to work your way back up again. And sometimes mentally I would say that can be very tough, where you're used to winning national tournaments, winning internationally, and having to maybe start from the bottom and move up again.
Yeah, you're a big fish in a small pond, and then you're a small fish in a big pond. So it's a big step up, all right. Yeah. Especially international though, like there's hundreds and hundreds of players training professionally every day, and you know it's very different here in Ireland, but yeah, it's a big step up.
Yeah, how does Ireland rank? I mean, who are the strong countries when it comes to badminton?
Oh well, the superpowers, you have China and India and Japan and Malaysia, and they're a grade above everyone, you know. But in Europe you have France and Denmark and Germany, Russia. So but Ireland it's not too far behind now. We've a couple, well, Scott Evans is our main man, he retired recently, but we do have good players. We've a mixed doubles pair, the McGees, they're top 20 in the world now, so there definitely is them kind of players to look up to and say it can be done to get up to that standard, you know.
100%, and you seem to have that dedication and drive. But what would your hopes be in badminton, Adam? Is there a long-term goal, a shorter-term one and a long-term goal for you?
Well, Olympic Games really is the ultimate goal, you know. Top 64 in the world, I think it is, for men's singles, so it's definitely achievable if you put in plenty of work, you know. But but that's the ultimate goal. But for short term, maybe definitely the Europeans in September, you know. I'd love to medal there or take home a bit of gold for the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 64, as you say, it is achievable.
Yeah.
And it's something that you'll have an eye on. Have you a particular time frame for that, or when would your aim be, do you think?
Well, Tokyo would be a bit close now.
A little bit, yeah.
2 years, but maybe the 4 years after that. I don't know where it is, but
yeah,
that'd be unbelievable now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, look, to have those sort of goals and those sort of aims, you obviously enjoy immensely what you're doing. You probably have to enjoy it though, because you have to put so much time into it.
Yeah. Oh, you have to. Yeah. If you're training 6 or 7 days a week, you wouldn't want to be going thinking, oh, not this again, So you'd want to be going in enjoying it, and I enjoy training hard. My mum always says to me, I don't know how you enjoy it, because I come home and I can barely walk sometimes, but I enjoy it. Happy pain.
Yeah, happy pain, no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
So the ultimate goal, as you said, Olympics, but for the moment, would you like to see any kind of major changes in perhaps the way badminton is viewed or treated or funded in this country, or what could be done to improve it for you now as a young badminton player that has that aspiration to help you achieve your goal?
Definitely more funding, more. Like Connacht now is very few coaches, so it's very hard to develop players when there's no coaches and no clubs. But Dublin is different now, but there has to be, more evenly spread funding throughout these rural parts, I suppose, because it's quite rare getting good players and good coaches coming along. Like my coach now has to travel down from Dublin every week, so
oh wow,
he does, yeah. So it's just more funding, I suppose.
Yeah. So you have someone coming from Dublin once a week?
Yeah, well, he comes at the weekend. He's in college actually, Monday to Friday, and he comes down on Friday then, and we train the weekends the whole time. So I just have to keep ticking over during the week, do as much as I can. But
yeah, and you when we came in, you were doing a little bit of training. People would see it on our social media video of it. So you have someone that helps you out. Tony was there.
Tony was there, yeah. We train a couple of days a week, alright, and there's a few other lads that come down from Sligo and Roscommon. They all come to Ballahadreen, so yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see you at the Olympic Games. You won't forget us.
We'll see. I will not forget you.